Basketball fans, what's going on? Welcome into another episode of All Things NBA. Me, your host, Jimmy Crowther, here with Austin Payne. Today, we got something a little special cooked up for you. So what we're going to do is we're taking Austin's Oklahoma City Thunder, my Dallas Mavericks, putting every player available, and we're going to draft each player. We're going to draft 10 players each, and we're going to see who can build the best team to compete for a championship next year. So we're not building for the future. We're not looking way out in advance. We're looking for the 2026 season. We flipped a coin before this. We're going to dive right into it. I got the first pick. Austin, I hate to do this to you. I'm taking the best Canadian on the board, the only guy that can hold up the Canadian flag proudly to stand up for his country. I'm taking Dwight Powell. No, not really. I'm taking Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I'm taking the MVP. I'm making the obvious pick. I don't think a lot needs to be said, but talk to me a little bit about just how special of a season Shai Gilgeous-Alexander really had.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I'll try to look up a stat while I'm talking, but what makes Shai so special is he pretty much unanimously had one of the best seasons a guard has ever had. Wins the scoring title, wins the MVP, wins the Western Conference MVP, wins the Finals MVP. Cover of 2K. Like, he had one of the best seasons a guard has ever had. Now, what is so unique about what Shai did is, one, he did it on incredible, like almost center-like efficiency. Now, what is even more incredible is he wins the scoring title sitting out more fourth quarters than he played. So if you watched Thunder games consistently, which I understand that not a lot of people watched the games that weren't nationally televised, I watched every single game last year, and more often than not, I want to say it was kind of up around 60% of the games that Shai played, he sat the entire fourth quarter. So it's extremely likely that if Shai had continued to play the minutes that he would have needed, if this team wasn't just so dominant, that his scoring average probably would have been, this isn't even exaggeration by any stretch, probably around 38, 39 points a game. That was just how incredible of a season he was having. He's also an incredibly good defender. Shai is on a team of some of the best defenders in the league, so it gets overlooked. But Shai is a plus defender on almost any team in the league. So, yeah, I mean, he's an incredible player. I think he's top 2 to 3 in the league. It's only Jokic and Giannis that you could say have any argument for that. So you made the correct first overall pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's so easy to build your team now from here and build the team that I want to compete for a championship, like now, starting with SGA, even though – for me, he is a little hard to watch at times as a hater, but as a lover of the game, I can appreciate how great he is and how easy he is to build around. So now Austin has got picks 2 and 3. So start off with number 2. Give me your back-to-backs.
Yep. So number 2, I'm going to take Jaylin Williams. Obviously, J-Dub, not J-Will, as much as I love him. So 2, I'm going to take Jaylin Williams. 3, I'm going to take, again, we're doing this for a team that's ready to win next year. And so I'm going center. It would be super easy. You guys know how high I am on Chet, but since we're just going next year, I'm assuming health. I'm going to take Anthony Davis at number 2, or number 3, I guess, my second pick.
You scared me a little bit. I thought you were going to go with Chet there when you started talking about a center. I really thought that was going to be your pick, but I'm glad to hear you make the right pick. I do think Anthony Davis is the right pick. If it were me, I would have taken Anthony Davis second, but doesn't really matter because you're getting both of the guys.
Would you have taken Jaylin Williams in that group?
I would have taken him third.
Okay.
I would have gone somewhere in that order. I think SGA 1 and then J-Dub AD 2 or 3. I think Anthony Davis, again, and I've said this before and I'll continue to repeat this, Anthony Davis has now officially become underrated in the NBA simply because he was involved in the biggest trade in NBA history for one of the greatest players that we know, like one of the most skilled players in Luka Doncic. But when healthy, I talked about this on my All Things Mavs channel, when healthy, I fully believe there are only 2 players that affect both sides of the ball as much as Anthony Davis does, and that's Wemby and Giannis. Other than that, I think AD is the most two-way player, the best two-way player in the game besides those 2 guys. But J-Dub had an incredible season. Go ahead.
Yeah, curious. So you had mentioned to me in the past that you think when healthy, again, assuming health, that Anthony Davis, you had said kind of top 5 player in the league. Where do you put him? Because, I mean, to me, top 5 player in the league, the only players he's behind, I'm assuming, are Shai, Giannis, Jokic, Luka. Is that correct to you?
Man, off the top of my head, That sounds right. That sounds good. I mean, he was better than when AD was healthy and Luka was healthy last year. AD was better, like he just was.
Sure.
Even like Luka, but I don't think most of the time I would take Luka over
Right.
Anthony Davis, especially for next season. I mean, yeah, if I haven't getting 100% Anthony Davis, I'm putting him top 5 for next season.
Okay.
I really am.
Okay.
I don't think that's too crazy, especially with the role he's going to have on this team. He's going to be the number 1 option, like for most of the season. So
yeah, I mean, if he's not
I'll
your leading scorer by a significant amount, something went terribly wrong.
Yeah, agreed. So the tough thing for me here is I think the obvious, and honestly, if Kyrie Irving was healthy, we didn't even mention this at the top. If Kyrie Irving was healthy, I would have taken him over J-Dub, honestly. I would have. I would have gone SGA 1, Kyrie or AD 2 or 3. But we are factoring in the fact that he is not going to play most of the season. I mean, he will miss at least, I would say, until January, and there's a chance he misses till March, if we're being honest. So I'm going to hold off on taking Kyrie here. And man, I want to take a Maverick so bad, but I think I have to grab the next best big man available and take Chet Holmgren, especially for the growth that I think he's going to have. I think I'm going to make Chet Holmgren the 4th overall pick and put him as my number 2 next to SGA.
Yeah, I think that's a wise choice. Mavericks fans have hated on me a little bit on Twitter over the last week or so, but I mainly just because of how much I have praised Chet. I think Dereck Lively is incredible. Like, to be clear, I think he's a very, very, very good center. I think he's incredible on the defensive end. I think his offensive potential is there, but I think it's pretty clear. And I just don't think this is crazy to say that Chet's ceiling is higher. Like, he's the number 2 pick. I just don't think that's that crazy to say. So I think you made a good call, and Dereck Lively's still on the board for one of us.
And that could be you. You got the next pick. You're in at number 5. Who are you taking to pair next to J-Dub and AD?
Yep, totally. So I am going to take a slight risk here and take Kyrie Irving. Jaylin Williams is an unbelievable guard. I think he is growing in a lot of ways. And I think what we saw in the playoffs is not as incredible as I thought he was in the playoffs. I obviously think he can be better. He was playing with such a banged up wrist that I thought you noticed it most in the way that he handled the ball. I expect that to be much better with a healed wrist, but I need somebody that can consistently handle the ball. Obviously, Kyrie Irving, I think, has the best handle in the NBA. He's also an incredible shooter, an incredible mid-range guy. So I'm going to survive for a few months without him and take Kyrie when he gets healthy.
Yeah, I think it would have been a crime not to take Kyrie here. I feel bad for skipping out on him because I've seen what he can do in the playoffs and what he does, as the number 1 option. I mean, before he went down with that ACL injury, the dude was on an absolute tear. I mean, him initiating offense, I'm very excited to watch in a playoff setting, as again, being back to the primary ball handler like he will be. Hurts me that I couldn't get him. I would have loved to put him next to SGA. But what I'm going to do here, maybe this might be risky, but instead of making them go up against each other and instead of forcing Dereck Lively to shut down Chet Holmgren in games, on my team, he's just going to have to shut him down in practice. And I'm putting Dereck Lively as my 5, and I'm making Chet Holmgren the 4 on my offense in my team. And so Dereck Lively is going to be my 6th overall pick. I think his impact on the defensive end is through the roof. I think he's going to have a huge third-year leap. His passing out of the high post and the low post and playmaking for his position is just incredible. His only thing is health. Can he stay healthy? He's coming into training camp apparently healthy. And I think if I've got a Chet D-Live like 4-5, that is I don't know how anybody's going to score in the paint. I don't know how it's going to happen.
Sure. Yep. That's a good pick. I really like it. I'm also going to go to the 4 position here, and I'm going to take, I don't think this is crazy, I'm going to take PJ Washington.
Okay.
I am thinking defense on this team. Obviously, PJ's a pretty elite shooter from the 3-point line, I think, especially the corners. And again, some of that, I don't know how accurate that is with the entire season, but a lot of what comes to mind with me is us playing against you guys in regular season playoffs. He always seems to be a really good corner 3 shooter if left open. I love his size, archetype I want on my team. So I will take PJ Washington.
PJ Washington is also just so versatile. Like
Yep.
he's probably going to play the wing position a lot for the Mavs this coming season. He's going to play some backup four, but he also has a really good ability to handle the ball more than I think people think he can. So I love that pick for you. I'm assuming you're making AD your 5 then, if this
Correct.
is the case.
I'm playing AD
Okay.
at the 5 as much as he doesn't want to play it.
That I know, I get it. I desperately need a wing, very very badly, and although Lou Dort is probably the best defender available, he doesn't do enough scoring for my liking or enough initiating for my liking. So I'm taking the generational prospect out of Duke. I'm taking Cooper Flagg, and I'm going to make him my small forward on this team with SGA, D Live, Chet Holmgren, Austin. I might be building the best defensive team of all time. I'm just going to say you might be in trouble.
It's looking good. It's looking good, but no, it definitely is. But here's I will take Lou Dort.
Okay.
I think Lou Dort is. I understand non-Oklahoma City Thunder fans hate Lou Dort, but I think if people are being honest, he's probably the best 3-and-D guy in the league. He's. Whoa. I mean, I don't think that's that crazy. Like I've heard that from people outside of the Thunder as well. He shot north of 40% from 3 this year on pretty high volume. He took more threes than almost anybody on the team. I think unanimously praised for his defense. If you talk to most guards or wings and ask them who they like going up against the least, many of them go on record and say it's Lou Dort, Luka included. So his defense on ball is incredible. When he gets hot from 3, he can't miss. I mean, I think of game 5 in the Denver series. We're looking like we're going to get run out of our own building. Lou Dort hits 3 threes in a row to bring us back, end up winning the game off of that momentum. He's, again, an unbelievable defender. So as much as I agree that your team defensively is looking really good, I actually like how mine's turning out on the defensive end as well.
No, I do too. I mean, Anthony Davis, PJ Washington, Lou Dort, and J-Dub is a deadly quartet of defenders. I'm about to round out my starting 5 here. I don't have a 2 guard. And this is where things start to get a little interesting because we've pretty much taken all the starters off the board, except for one guy who I honestly almost forgot about. He almost just, I was about to not pick him because I forgot he was here. And now I see him. And I think it's pretty obvious. I got to take Klay Thompson and give a shooter next to Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to round out my starting 5. So we both have our starting 5 set now is what it seems like. So I've got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at my 1, Klay Thompson at my 2. I'm making Cooper Flagg my 3, Chet Holmgren my 4, D Live at the 5. You are rolling with Kyrie Irving, who will miss most of the season, so you're going to have to get a backup guard. Yep. Jalen, are you putting J-Dub or Lou Dort at your 2? I know it doesn't really matter.
But I'm putting J-Dub at the 2, Dort at the 3, Washington at the 4, AD at the 5.
I mean, both teams are pretty good. I think your biggest problem, we're about to find out how you kind of recover from a lack of creation. Yep. Although J-Dub, I think, takes a step up in creation. I think PJ Washington is an underrated creator. Anthony Davis can initiate a lot of offense as well. If Cooper Flagg's initiation for the Mavericks, like the real Mavericks, is going to be very important. Like he's going to have to prove that he can handle the ball, that he can pass, that he can set up others a lot early on in the season without Kyrie. But as
right,
the second,
and that's where I'm not sure about. I think you and I both have question marks because again, I don't think it's crazy to say that Cooper Flagg might not be the best creator or scorer for the Dallas Mavericks this year. Like, I just don't think that's crazy to say. I think there are Mavericks fans out there thinking that he is just going to light it up offensively. And if I'm being honest, I just don't really see that happening. I think he'll have some awesome games where the shot's on, but I think it'll take some time for him to grow into his offense. And that is, again, nothing to do with my outlook on him in the future. And so I think that your leg up is obviously Shai. Like, I think Anthony Davis, even at the number 2 pick, I personally feel there is a pretty big gap right now between Shai and AD. So I'm going to have to make up for that with some of these next picks.
I agree. So I just want to do one more thing. So Thunder players selected. We've got Chet, SGA, J-Dub, and Dort. So 4 of the 10. So are you admitting now that the Mavericks are a deeper, better team than the Oklahoma City Thunder? Are you going to go on record since 6 of the first 10 picks were the Mavericks?
I am not. I'm not at all. No, I think again when we're picking by position, this is just kind of where we wound up. But if we're talking, I mean, I'd take. I don't think that's crazy to say at all. I would take the Thunder starting 5 over the Mavericks starting 5 all day, considering what we just did.
I figured. So you got the number 11 pick. We're getting into our benches now. So who are you going with?
Yeah, somebody that I'm actually surprised has not come off the board yet. I'm taking Isaiah Hartenstein. So
wow, okay.
I have got my backup center. I have got somebody, which again, I don't know how much people watch Isaiah Hartenstein, but Isaiah Hartenstein is a significantly better rim protector than the Thunder thought that they were getting from him. He has to play a lot of drop. Obviously, if he gets put on an island against a guard or a wing, that's just kind of what you have to live with. Pretty good lob threat. And if you guys have not watched him, very, very, very good creator and initiator on offense. You do not look at Isaiah Hartenstein and think elite passer. He is one of the best passers on the Oklahoma City Thunder. Maybe I think his worst position that he could be as a passer on the Thunder is third. He's most likely second. He is a very good passer, so he'll, I think, be, you could throw him in, put AD at the 4 if you wanted to mess with lineups like that. He could come off the bench, play your backup center. I think you're in good shape.
So you said he was at worst the third best passer. Who would you put it to?
Well, I mean, I'll be honest. I think he is.
If not Hartenstein, if not him, who would be 2?
If not him, I like Dub has grown in that. I don't think that he's better than Hartenstein at all. Cason Wallace, sneaky good passer, but not ready to put him there either, just for the sake of the limited amount of minutes he's played. So I would put Hartenstein at 2. I think he's pretty clearly the second best passer on the team.
Well, if I was picking a center, I would have gone with Daniel Gafford, but I also watch a lot more Daniel Gafford, so there's a gap there in terms of knowledge. Go ahead.
Yeah, I think you and I are in the exact same position there, because I've noticed the way that you talk about Hartenstein low-key shocks me, and I think the way I talk about Gafford shocks you. So I think, again, I think some of that's just the lack of consistent watching. Yeah,
backup centers are hard to talk about for other teams, if we're being honest. But I'm glad you didn't pick the guy that I'm taking next, because I'm sticking with Nico Harrison's motto here, where defense wins championships. And I'm going to make Alex Caruso my backup.
Yep, like that's where I was going next.
/2. Again, this defense is going crazy on my team. Tell me about Alex Caruso in terms of did he run point off the bench much, or was he primarily an off the ball guy?
He did both. So there were definitely times where the Thunder turned to him as point guard, sometimes even when multiple starters were on the court, but just Shai was off. He played a lot of point guard for the Thunder. He also played a lot off ball. However, I mean, I think this is an incredible pick. The defense that he brings, the hustle that he brings is incredible. He has a tendency to get blown by, but besides that, he's literally the perfect defender. He can scale up. He can play about the shiftiest guard that you can find. His offense is incredible. Like, it's very good. He did not play a lot of minutes purposefully throughout the year. It was told over and over and over, very straight up to the fans, that they were saving Alex Caruso for the playoffs. And man, that guy came to play. He had not scored over, I think, 12 points in a game for the Oklahoma City Thunder until he played the playoffs, and he had multiple games where he had around 20 points. He's an incredibly efficient shooter. He's got a good mid-range. He's a very, very, very good three-point shooter. His numbers got very good as the season went on. So, yeah, absolutely can play point guard, can create for you in a backup role, and can also play off ball, and a really, really good cutter as well.
Yeah, I think in this scenario, if Klay Thompson if he falls off at all next year, which by the way, I didn't really talk about my Klay Thompson pick very much. Like, he shot the lights out last year. He is still one of the best shooters, and he was an Iron Man for the Mavs. Like, people were like, oh, he's injury prone all the time. Like, no, he had two catastrophic injuries, but other than that, he is still an Iron Man. So if Klay Thompson needs to come off the bench and Caruso starts next to SGA on this team, great. Whatever it is, I'm pretty happy with that pick. So you got the next pick. Where are you going?
Yep, I'm going to take Cason Wallace. So exact same thing that we were talking about. I would have taken Alex Caruso had he been there. Cason Wallace is the other guy. Once Ajay Mitchell went down with injury, Cason and Caruso were guys that got significant minutes at the point guard position. So Cason would come off the bench, run the offense some. It's something I would like to see him do a lot more. He played a lot of point guard in college. He's very good at handling the ball. He's a really good three-point shooter, a little bit streaky, but I think that just comes with his youth. I think that he'll grow into that. He's got a very pretty shot, extremely explosive for a guy that's only about 6'4". He's one of the shortest guys on the team, but he's the best dunker on the team for the Thunder, and he is absolutely one of the best on-ball defenders in the NBA already. So I'm going to take him, go with defense, have another 3-and-D guy kind of waiting in the wing that can also do a little creation for me while I'm waiting for Kyrie to get healthy.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick. Probably where I would have gone if I were you. For me, I'm very happy this guy's available because I need a backup 5. Even though I've got some good size on this team, I'm very happy with the value in this pick. I'm going with Daniel Gafford. As I said, one of the best backup big men, I think, in the league. He can start. He started a lot for Dereck Lively last year when he was hurt. Very happy to get him backing up Chet and D-Live. So that's my next pick. You've got pick number 15.
Perfect. Yep. I'm just going to go for some more scoring, some more creation. I'm going to take Aaron Wiggins. Aaron Wiggins is a guy for the Oklahoma City Thunder that offensively is incredible. A lot of the same stuff that we said about Dort. A few games in the playoffs, he kind of shot our team back into it. There was a stretch January through March where he was averaging 22 points a game. Incredibly efficient scorer, really good ball handler, struggles a little bit scaling up on defense, but a great pick for the offensive side of the ball.
It's funny because now we're kind of getting into these deeper, the depth picks where it's like, you know more about the Oklahoma City. 3 wings on the Mavs that I think are very, very good. And thankfully, because I need another wing on this team. And I'm back and forth between Max Christie and Naji Marshall because I think Max Christie is going to have a great leap next year. But I already know what I'm getting out of Naji Marshall, and he brings me a little bit more size on the wings. His 3-point shot wasn't there, but his scoring around the rim, he was like, I can't remember what the exact stat was, but for guys at his height or under, he had the best field goal percentage around the rim at over 60%. Like you said with SGA, he's like a big man when it comes to being around the rim. He also initiates a lot of offense for the Mavs, especially after Kyrie went down. So very happy with my Naji Marshall pick here off the bench.
Love it. Let me look real quick at my team. Let me figure out who I'm looking for. Okay. Yeah. No, at this point, we are kind of just looking at pieces that I don't even know about on your side of the ball. But that said, you know what? Never mind. I almost took Max Christie, but I was going to take him off of like literally a 3-game sample size. I don't know anything about Max Christie except those first few games where he was getting significant minutes. So I'm not going to do it. And instead, I'm going to take a guy that I think is about to have an incredible year, somebody that we drafted last year. I'm going to take Ajay Mitchell as my last kind of guard. AJ, while he was playing before he had the foot injury, he was getting significant minutes as a rookie. He actually started a game for the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's an incredible point guard. He's a very good 3-point shooter. He was over 40% his rookie year. He blew the lights out of the gym in every summer league game he played. So I'm going to take him as another possibility to play off the bench while I'm waiting for Kyrie.
So you're clearly projecting pretty highly for AJ Mitchell because you're already getting kind of a proven player, although I know he has his downfalls, but I think D'Angelo Russell at this point has to be selected. He is still a good point guard. He is the guy that is going to start until Kyrie comes back. I'm taking D'Angelo Russell because like you said, Caruso is probably not a true point guard. D'Lo is more of that pass first kind of guy that can come off the bench now for me. And I've got enough defense to make up for his lack of defense on this team. I also needed more shooting, and that's one thing he does well. He is a great shooter. So your final pick, where are you going?
Yeah, I am going to take a pick that might surprise you, but if we're literally looking at this as my 10th man, I'm going to pick Jaylin Williams. I'm going to get a little more size. I need a little bit more size on my team. Some of these guards that I've picked are a little smaller. Jaylin Williams can be an incredible backup center depending on matchup. He even plays extremely well against Jokic. He's very good from the 3-point line, kind of worked on a no-dip 3 that he used a lot this season, and it kind of helped us out. So I'm going to take the scoring, the shooting, and the possible defense that he can give depending on matchup.
Pretty sure you went on record and said like Thomas Sorber was going to be the best player of this draft class or something, and I'm surprised you didn't take him over over Jay Will here.
Yeah. No, it was tempting, but I got to take my proven guys.
So my last pick, I can't leave him on the board because I am projecting. I just said it. I'm projecting a big leap from Max Christie, and there's two guys I could have gone with here. It's tough because I don't have a ton of size off the bench now, but Max Christie, like you said, that's that small game sample size, like right out after the trade. He comes out and
very
scores
good.
like very, very good. He is a very good shooter, will probably be the best point of attack defender on the Mavericks next year. Maybe Caleb Martin takes that, but I just don't trust Caleb Martin's offense right now. I'm very high on Max Christie. He's a young guy that is very excited to be in Dallas, and that alone like makes me believe in what he's going to become on this team, especially playing next to, actual players. Last year he was playing on a team that just didn't have a lot of players. So our teams are set. We're gonna post this on Twitter, and so you guys can vote on who you think has the better team. All right, so we rounded out our teams. We've made the final picks. We've each got 10 guys to compete for a championship next season. Give me your initial thoughts, and then I'll hit you with mine.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I felt like with as many good players as there are on both the Thunder and the Mavs, it kind of to me felt like if you got Shai and then were smart, you were probably going to wind up with a better team. So that's my initial thought. However, I love what I've got because I'm expecting a bit of a jump from Jaylin Williams, guy that scored 40 in the finals. I also like what I have defensively. I have seen Chet Holmgren struggle a little bit against Anthony Davis in the past. It's not a big sample size. I don't think it has anything to do with Chet and more of just like how dominant AD can be when he's healthy, kind of like what we were talking about. So I like the matchup there. I think that when Kyrie is healthy, I've got the second best guard on the court besides Shai, obviously. I like what I've got from a defensive perspective. I've got what I think is the best point of attack defender in the league. I've got Cason Wallace, a guy that we think we can trust defending basically any guard, got some good shooting. So I like my team, but again, I struggle picking against any team with Shai, Chet, and Dereck Lively.
Yeah, I'm glad you said it because I feel pretty comfortable in a 7-game series picking my team. I'm pretty happy with what I've got, especially on the defensive end. Now there's a little bit with my team that there's a little prove it-ness on my team, right? Like Cooper Flagg has a little bit to prove. Chet still has another level he needs to get to because he's basically my number 2 on this team, but I'm pretty happy with my team. I mean, I can't complain, especially with the idea of putting Klay Thompson next to Shai and how he would just feast off his passing on wide open 3-pointers. I think would just be a thing of beauty. So we'll let you guys vote. Hit us up in the comments. Make sure you hit us up on Twitter. We're going to post it everywhere. Austin, where can they find you on Twitter?
Yeah, absolutely. So on Twitter, _things_OKC. Come follow me there. Hit 1,000 followers recently. So thank you guys for that. Been a real fun community. And then, come follow me on TikTok as well. You can find it with the same handle.
You guys know where to find me, where to find this. Make sure you hit subscribe. Stay tuned for much, much more to come. And we'll talk to y'all soon.